All right, so we are here with...
I'm Brian.
I'm Allison, and we are with I'm Not Here to Make Friends.
There goes Lincoln.
There goes Lincoln.
There goes Lincoln. Lincoln is one of the creators of this show we're on the set of, which is...
Solitary. This season is 4.0.
Yeah.
So we're doing a little set visit, very exciting, a whole bunch of top secret
Crazy,
stuff.
awesome.
Clearly a slow one.
For real.
And then what are you going to do with that, with the information you're gleaning from being on the set?
Eventually we're going to post it to our website, which is notmakefriends.com.
Exactly.
Probably after the episode they're covering.
Not probably, definitely.
Definitely
Because
it
we
airs.
signed that little thing that says we can't. So we're going to keep it under our hat until then.
So you're going to post what
awesome.
you've seen and heard here, but what? Give me an example of something that you would post that would enhance the viewer experience.
We're going to have an interview with Lincoln and Andrew, who are the producers and creators of the show. And we did that last year too, and it turned out really, really good. So if you want to hear that 45 minutes of gold nugget, it's available on iTunes.
Yeah, a lot of fans, as soon as the show's airing, was like, "Oh, how can I get more information about this?" And they find our interview, and they usually write us, and we're like, "Thanks for that interview. That was really
it was
interesting."
really cool. And when the pods get eliminated, we do get the opportunity to interview the cast.
Yeah.
So that's really cool. So fans of the show can go and do that. And we normally get some really good relationships going from season to season.
Yeah.
So people keep up to date with us about what's going on in their lives and charities they're working for and things like that. Specifically Maureen from last season, she works with a lot of charities. So we try and promote them as much as they help promote us.
They help
Right.
us, yeah.
So why this show? I mean, what do you like about this show?
Oh, it's just great.
It's just a fun show. It was different than a lot of other reality shows out there because basically you're only competing against yourself, which is very interesting, and actually having the people not be politicking with all the other contestants, that's a lot of fun too because they're completely solitary.
So it's
and
different.
We're masochists, so we love seeing people get tortured a little bit.
The torture element.
The torture element is great, and
She loves the torture.
Yeah.
I love the torture, and I think Lincoln put it best last year, and he said, it's stuff that's familiar, and then we completely ruin it for you. We'll ruin mousetraps in season 3.
We'll ruin drinking root beer.
We'll
which they
ruin
did
drinking
last year.
root beer for you. It's that kind of stuff. It's the familiar with the twist. I really like seeing what's going to happen with that. Every single season, they pull out something new. So.
I mean, do you ever feel bad that you're watching these people,
Absolutely not.
Going through
No,
these
They signed up for it.
situations?
No.
They signed up for it, yeah.
They know what they're getting into, and if they don't, they should.
They-
Check it out before you
research.
audition. Check it out.
Would you sign up for it?
No.
Absolutely not.
Why not?
She, in fact, thinks she could be on Top Chef
I
sometimes.
could totally win Top Chef.
But she would never do...
I could not win solitaire.
She's like, I will never do solitaire. But she's like, well, if I was on Top Chef, I would have cooked this. I would have done
Right,
that.
right.
But what would you done on solitaire? I would never be on that show.
Right.
There's a certain amount of physical ability you need for this show and mental. And I go, well, I'm really mental, but I got nothing physical behind me. So as soon as that one that's a little bit physical would come up,
handle being alone.
and I can't handle being alone. I talk constantly.
Right. You'd have to talk to Val.
I'd
I
have to
guess.
talk to Val,
Lovely
and I'm
Val.
sure they would get tired of me being like, I just need to talk. Green button, I need to talk.
So you told me that you were a reality TV obsessive.
I am. It started out very innocently, back when it was new, and Real World and that kind of stuff, and then it just exploded all over American TV because it's cheap. And it's interesting. I like.
I thought you were talking about your obsession.
My obsession.
Or reality
My
TV
obsession
exploded.
is cheap. My obsession is cheap though because I'm watching all these people. But
I mean, how did it start? Like, what was the moment when you decided reality TV was the thing for you?
Brother?
No, it was not Big Brother. It was a show called The Restaurant.
That's right.
On NBC, which is following Rocco DiSpirito opening his new restaurant, and I got sucked in, and I loved it, and ever since then, everything, never looked back.
I mean, a lot of people say...
Have you seen MasterChef on at all?
MasterChef, I have not.
No. I would like that though. We like cooking reality
Yeah,
shows.
Hell's Kitchen, Top Chef, we do it.
It's the most successful reality show probably ever on Australian TV.
Really?
Oh wow.
And we're just wondering.
I'll have to check it
Yeah,
out
I'll
now.
have to check that out.
I'll check it out
That
because
sounds
I
really
love following what reality shows are popular in other countries, and then we bring them over to America to make them ours, I guess. Because we always change them a little bit to make them
Check out
American.
MasterChef.
MasterChef. We'll have to check it out. We'll have
Okay,
to-
last question.
Yeah.
A lot of people, look down on reality TV. They say it's like the lowest common denominator of entertainment. What do you... And yet, this
I
is
agree.
your thing.
I agree, but I am the lowest common denominator, so I don't
would
feel
say
bad about that.
80% of the time that's true.
80% of the time it's true.
Yeah.
And there's a certain amount where you make fun of it, and then there's certain shows that keep you going and keep it new, and you're like, okay, I like it.
There's
And
nothing
it keeps you
wrong
going.
with guilty pleasures.
Nothing
so,
wrong with guilty
yeah.
pleasures. Absolutely nothing wrong with it. Everybody has them. I don't feel bad.
Okay, really last question.
Oh,
Okay.
If you weren't doing the podcast, do you think that you'd be as excited as the podcast? Take it from a viewership to a real like a hobby,
She
a
would
pastime.
be excited regardless.
Yeah.
Doing the podcast is what really brought me into watching a lot more reality TV and getting
And there's a whole bunch
excited.
of experiences, like being here and meeting you guys and all that kind of fun stuff, where it's a community. It's a community, which is fun.
Doesn't this qualify
All right.
as navel gazing?
Cool.
Thank you. Does this qualify as navel gazing? My
No.
question for the how.
Hello. What's it like in there? Well, it's
You
kind of
can
nice.
go. There's so many layers and permutations.